Let's talk about your house, specifically what it might be trying to tell you through its plumbing. We're about to become detectives in our own homes, figuring out all the hidden messages your pipes are sending every single day.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That weird kind of spooky gurgle from the toilet long after you've flushed. Or when you're taking a shower and the water starts pooling around your ankles. It's so easy to just ignore it, but honestly, that's often the first whisper of a much bigger conversation your house wants to have with you.
And really, that's the whole point of this. These little things aren't just random annoyances, they're symptoms. Think of it like this. Your home's plumbing system is communicating. And if you can learn its language, you can save yourself a ton of headaches, not to mention money down the road. So to understand these messages, we've got to understand the messenger. First things first, let's take a look at this huge, invisible network of pipes that are working around the clock right behind your walls and under your floors.
I mean, just think about it for a second. These pipes aren't just floating in empty space. They're constantly dealing with the ground they're buried in, the kind of water flowing through them, and even the climate. We're going to use a town in Texas, Converse, as our main example today, but these ideas, they apply everywhere. Every single home is in a constant battle with its own unique environment.
All right, every good story needs a villain, or, in this case, a couple of them. For your home's plumbing, there are two major culprits that are silently attacking this network. One is attacking from the outside, and the other, it's coming from the inside.
And here they are, our two hidden culprits. On one side, you have the actual ground your house is built on, this stuff called expansive clay soil. On the other side, it's the water itself, hard water. So you've got this pressure coming from the outside and a totally different kind of threat growing on the inside.
Now, this is what's wild about this soil. It isn't just plain old dirt. In a place like Central Texas, this clay acts like a giant sponge. When it rains, it swells up like crazy. And when it's dry, it shrinks back down. This constant movement squeezes and pulls on your pipes, and it's so powerful it can literally shift your home's foundation and crack solid water lines that are buried under concrete.
So while the soil is causing chaos from the outside, hard water is busy making trouble on the inside. See, the local water flows through limestone, so it picks up a lot of minerals like calcium and magnesium. Inside your pipes, those minerals harden into this crusty scale. This stuff slowly but surely chokes off your water flow, it destroys the inside of your water heater, and it mixes with soap and grease to form these ridiculously stubborn, almost cement-like clogs in your drains.
Okay, so we've got these massive environmental forces pushing and pulling on your home. But how does that turn into the little noises and everyday problems we actually notice? Well, this is where we learn to decode your pipe's SOS signals.
Here's a handy list of the most common messages your plumbing sends. That gurgling toilet could be a sign of a blockage or even a venting problem. A slow drain? That's the classic calling card of buildup from hard water. And a water bill that's suddenly way higher than usual? That is a huge red flag that you've got a hidden leak somewhere. Every single one of these is a clue.
Let's quickly define a term you might hear thrown around, especially in places with that clay soil we talked about, a slab leak. This one's a big deal. It's when a pipe breaks underneath the concrete foundation of your house, and it's almost always a direct result of that shifting, squeezing soil.
And this is the crucial part, knowing what to look for. If you ever feel a spot on your floor that's weirdly warm to the touch, or if you can hear the faint sound of running water when you know everything is turned off, you gotta act fast. These are the absolute classic red alerts for a slab leak.
Now, while the soil attacks from below, hard water is causing its own problems from within. In older homes, its main target is often these old galvanized steel pipes. What happens is they literally rust from the inside out, and that mineral-rich hard water, it basically puts that whole process on fast forward. So how do you know if this is happening? Well, if your water pressure just seems to get weaker and weaker over time, or if you get a little burst of brownish, rusty water when you first turn on the faucet, you are probably seeing the effects of corrosion. And the thing is, once this process starts, it's like a chain reaction, and your whole system could be at risk.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. We've talked about threats, we've decoded the warnings. It can all feel a bit overwhelming. But now we're going to pivot to the solution. This next part is all about what you can do about it. It's your home protection plan.
This chart is so incredibly helpful because it helps you figure out what you can probably handle yourself versus when it's really time to call a pro. You know, a single slow drain, you might be able to fix that with a safe cleaning product. But if every single drain in your house starts backing up at the same time, oh yeah,
That's a totally different story. That points to a bigger issue in your main sewer line, and for that, you need an expert.
You know, the best plan is always to be proactive, not reactive. Flushing your water heater once a year is a game changer in hard water areas. It gets all that sediment out. And fixing a tiny little drip right away, that can save you from huge water damage and mold problems later. It's all about staying ahead of the game.
And hey, if you do need to call a professional, it shouldn't be some big, scary mystery. A good, trustworthy process should look exactly like this. You call, they give you a clear arrival time. The technician figures out the real problem and gives you a price before they start any work. And finally, they do a quality repair and they test it to make sure it's fixed for good. No surprises.
I absolutely love this quote. This is the whole idea. A true professional isn't there to scare you into some massive, expensive repair. They're there to empower you. They should explain what's going on, why it's happening, and what all your options are, so you can make the best choice.
And that really brings us to the final question. After all this, seeing how the world outside affects the hidden network inside your home and learning how to translate all the gurgles, drips, and drains into clear messages, what is your home trying to tell you right now? And more importantly, are you ready to listen?